Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from InfoVest. Hope you're all doing well. So let's talk about a very interesting article comes out here saying that Dallas City Council bans short-term rentals from single-family areas. So you're hearing that more and more among a lot of governments in the US and in Canada where they're going after short-term rentals because there's a housing crisis, right? There's supply of housing is not to where the government would like it to be in order to help a lot of the shortages when it comes to housing. So this is creating problems among people who are looking for houses and causing those prices to be high up there and sticky, especially when it comes to rent and rental prices and housing prices that is being fueled by one, the short inventory, and second, also the rate hikes, the higher mortgage cost, which is fueling this problem in this housing market. So this new thing that comes out where the Dallas City Council is looking to ban these short-term rentals is aimed towards helping maybe to create that inventory or to create more supply where there's longer-term rentals. Like I know in Canada for sure, even the rental market is in a very tough situation. There's a lot of people, especially demand, where a lot of people are chasing and rental properties because they need a place to live, and because housing is very expensive in Canada and they can't afford it. That's where you're seeing a lot of these people come in, and new immigrants come in and looking for rent, while there's the shortage issue and the demand is still high up there. So this hopefully creates some alleviates some sort of pain that's in there. I'll go further detail in this article. It says, after a day of debate, the Dallas City Council voted late Wednesday night to add restrictions for short-term rentals like Airbnb and VRBO. The council voted on the issue a little before midnight after more than 4 hours of testimony from dozens of people on both sides of the emotional issue. The council decided to ban short-term rentals from neighborhoods with single-family houses. So they're going after single-family houses, and if you're doing short-term rentals there, they're saying that, hey, you can't do that anymore. However, these short-term rentals will still be allowed, so they're not banning completely everything. They'll still be allowed in neighborhoods with multi-family dwellings and commercial zones. However, the council added new restrictions. STR properties must register with the city each year and pay the same kinds of taxes and fees that hotels pay to operate, right? So they're not going to make it that easy, even for the ones who plan to still keep these short-term rentals or have these multifamily dwellings. So what does this do to the market, right? What does that do to people who own these rental properties, who are getting cash flow from it, especially with rates high and the mortgage costs increasing or high or where they are right now? It's definitely creating a lot of strain for these investors. So what happens here? Well, you could argue that, hey, if you were making, let's say, $10,000 a month or $7,000 a month or $6,000 a month from your short-term rental properties, and now all of a sudden that is gone, and you're going to go for more longer term time frames, you're not going to make the same amount of revenue like you were from short term, right? Because if you see on Airbnb, depending where you live, but let's just give an example. Some Airbnb places, they charge $500 to $1,000 a day, right? So imagine, you got $1,000 a day if you got 10 stays, right? People staying over 10 days, you just made 10 grand right there, right? More than what you would make on a contract for long term, right? Because no one's going to pay 10, 20 grand a month unless it's a very big house, square footage, it's a mansion, etc., etc. That's a different story there. But on a single family residential home, a normal house, 2,500 square foot, let's just say, right? You're going to be paying not high up there, and you wouldn't be making as much compared to, let's say, Airbnb. So what is that going to do for the property market and these people who own these properties? You would see that there would be strain. It would be a big strain on their finances, especially if they can't handle the mortgage cost and the unexpected costs that come from the property itself, if there needs to be repairs and etc. So that may bring up the scenario where these houses come up for sale. And you're seeing that in the Airbnb market, the cottage market, right? During the COVID time, a lot of people chased cottages, bought a lot of cottages. The cottages prices went up. They thought that, okay, COVID's, this new work-life balance or this remote work is going to stay for a very long time. So let's go buy a cottage, live a cottage life, work from there, etc., etc. And this huge flock of, demand came in. People were moving from state to state. Why live in California? Pay so much taxes. Let's go to Texas. Why live in New York? Let's go to Florida. It's much cheaper there and it's better, and we can work from anywhere, right? Now that is changing, and now with these new regulations, with also the higher mortgage costs, definitely it's going to create a lot of pain for some of these people who own these properties. So you can expect most of these investment properties to come up and show up as on the inventory, helping maybe creating some sort of supply and maybe alleviating the prices there and helping with the housing crisis. Now, how much of a big effect is it going to be? Well, we'll see. Right, we don't know for sure, but if you start seeing more and more supply and the supply does shoot up, then sure, it can cause the housing market and the prices to continue to decline. If not, if there's still issues and it's not doing much, we'll see in the coming months. Then there's, in some areas there might be some problems still, and you might see housing prices still up there until maybe some sort of credit event, unless unemployment rate skyrockets, people lose their job left and right, then they have to really get rid of their investment property and can't try to hold and buckle through this storm, right? Then definitely you got to get rid of it at any cost. And you're seeing that if you are looking in the housing market, and you're seeing some of these properties, you are seeing some investors do take a loss, about 200, 300, some 500K loss on the properties, because they just simply can't hold, right? So it'll be very interesting if this new rules apply. On top of that, they talked about also in this article where you'll be paying the same kind of taxes and fees as hotels pay if you still continue to go with the short-term rentals on your multifamily dwellings, right? So you're now not going to be deemed as this residential property. You're going to be deemed same like just the commercials are, and be charged a fee to operate, which is again going to bring in more strain and more pain. So let me know what you guys think. What are you seeing in your area? Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers, bye.